Have you ever seen an entitled Karen's bravado crumble in an instant? In this video, watch as Karen's encounter with law enforcement quickly spirals into a dramatic arrest and immediate emotional breakdown. Let's start with this girl who gets caught doing 92 in a 65 throws a fit. On the evening of November 19th, 2021, a routine traffic stop turned into a dramatic confrontation when police officers pulled over a woman driving at 92 miles per hour in a 65 miles per hour zone with her children in the back seat. The incident began when officers clocked the black Chevrolet Silverado speeding on the highway.
I passed you up, clocking you at 92.
Okay, so question.
I am traveling 100 miles an hour trying to catch up to you.
No.
And you kept driving through Loving, a black Chevy Silverado.
You're lying.
I'm not lying.
Okay,
I don't need to lie about that.
Mom!
Despite the clear violation, the situation quickly escalated due to the woman's uncooperative behavior and repeated refusals to comply with the officers' requests. As the officers approached the vehicle, they immediately requested the woman's driver's license, registration, and proof of insurance.
I need your license. I'm not doing this game. I need your license, registration, and insurance.
Instead of complying, the woman demanded to see evidence that the officers had been following her, insisting that she was not speeding and had not been followed.
Mom! He wasn't in following me the whole time in Loving, and now he's gonna follow me?
That's not how this works. All right.
The officers noted the smell of alcohol emanating from her breath, raising further concerns about her state of sobriety while driving with children in the vehicle.
And now I'm smelling alcohol coming from your breath, and you have kids in your car.
The woman grew increasingly agitated, repeatedly interrupting the officers and claiming her father was a cop, which she believed would shield her from any repercussions.
My dad is the sheriff.
Your dad's the sheriff. Your dad's Mark Cage.
Despite several warnings, she continued to argue and refused to hand over her documents.
Your license, registration, all that stuff.
Brittany, calm down. Please.
I'm not arguing.
Down. Stop.
The officers warned her multiple times that she could face arrest for resisting their lawful orders, but she persisted in her defiance.
I was trying to catch up to you the whole time. From the moment you passed me and you put on your brakes because you saw me.
I didn't see you. I really, honestly, 100.
Okay.
I'm being 100%.
I had to find a turnaround.
Eventually, the situation reached a breaking point. The officers decided to detain the woman for driving while intoxicated, DWI, and resisting arrest.
Get in the car, or
Okay.
I'm going to arrest you for resisting. How about
I'm
that?
not arresting you for resisting.
You can't arrest me.
I'm not resisting though.
She was placed under arrest after a prolonged and chaotic interaction during which she continued to protest and argue.
Choose an additional independent
I
test.
didn't give you no
If
fucking
you choose to
alcohol.
take this test,
Take the fucking test.
you have the right to a
Take
reasonable
the
opportunity
test. Oh,
to
now
arrange
you're
for a physician.
now.
The officers had to contact Child Protective Services to ensure the safety of the children, as the woman's behavior and intoxication posed a significant risk to their well-being. Following her arrest, the woman was taken into custody and charged with multiple offenses.
He believes her to be under the influence. She reeks of alcohol. She will get... Court is the place to fight stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like,
The legal process involved a series of hearings where the evidence against her was presented. Given her refusal to comply with the breath test, her charges included DWI, speeding, and resisting arrest. The involvement of Child Protective Services was also documented due to the endangerment of her children. The woman violated several Florida statutes, leading to her arrest and subsequent legal penalties. For speeding as stated in Florida statute 316.183, penalties for speeding in excess of 25 miles per hour over the posted limit can result in a fine ranging from $200 to $500 and up to 6 months of probation. In addition, Driving under the influence, DUI, as per Florida statute 316.193, penalties for first-time offenders face fines between $500 and $1,000, up to 6 months in jail, mandatory 50 hours of community service, and a license suspension of 6 to 12 months. Enhanced penalties apply if minors are in the vehicle or the blood alcohol concentration, BAC, is 0.15% or higher. And most importantly, child endangerment, as stated in Florida statute 827.03, penalties for child neglect without bodily harm is a third-degree felony, punishable by up to 5 years in prison, 5 years of probation, and a $5,000 fine. If bodily harm occurs, it escalates to a second-degree felony with harsher penalties. All right, let's move on to the next case, where another Karen was arrested for trespassing and resisting arrest. On July 16, 2023, a dramatic incident unfolded at a mall in Largo, Florida, resulting in the arrest of a woman for trespassing and resisting arrest.
What's your first name?
The events transpired when mall security discovered the woman trespassing in a restricted area where she was found sleeping. Security personnel approached the woman and attempted to wake her multiple times, using a loud horn to get her attention.
I tried to wake her up several times, even blew this loud-ass little horn on here, and was like, hey, unfortunately, you have to wake up and leave. You can't be back here. You're not allowed to let, the homeless sleep back here.
Despite their efforts, she remained unresponsive.
She ignored me, would not budge, move anything, and I linked on this little horn and everything.
Eventually, another individual intervened to assist security in getting her to cooperate.
And then that was after I called another person.
Upon being awakened, the woman became verbally aggressive, hurling racial slurs and refusing to leave the premises.
Told her to calm down and walked around the patrol car and stood here and swung on me. My natural reaction is, of course, to swing back.
Okay.
But then I thought about it
She escalated the situation by attempting to physically confront security personnel, prompting them to call the police for assistance.
I'm supposed to swing back or fight this lady.
Yeah.
Let me just call the police before it gets worse.
Law enforcement officers arrived promptly at the scene in response to the disturbance. They attempted to reason with the woman, advising her to comply with the trespass notice and leave peacefully.
All right, so do you understand that you're trespassing?
I get it.
You got it? All right, so that means we gotta go. We gotta leave. Okay.
However, she continued to resist, leading to her eventual arrest. The woman was charged with trespassing, which under Florida law, Chapter 810.09, involves unlawfully entering or remaining on property after being warned to leave by the owner or authorized person. Trespassing is typically considered a misdemeanor offense in Florida, punishable by fines and potential imprisonment, depending on the severity and circumstances of the trespass. Additionally, the woman faced charges for resisting arrest without violence.
Don't move and don't resist. Let them put the cuffs on you. And then from there, we're gonna talk about you possibly going for battery because you hit her.
Florida statutes, Chapter 843.02, which occurs when a person interferes with or obstructs law enforcement during a lawful arrest. This offense is also classified as a misdemeanor in Florida, carrying penalties of fines and possible jail time. Following her arrest, the woman was processed and likely brought before a magistrate for an initial appearance where bail conditions and future court dates would be determined. The incident underscores the serious consequences of failing to comply with lawful orders and the importance of maintaining public order and safety within private property. That was a wild ride, but just wait until you see this next case. On February 15, 2024, the incident begins with officers noticing a defective tail light on the woman's vehicle.
You have a tail light that's missing on the back? Did you know about that?
Prompting them to initiate a traffic stop. However, Right from the start, communication barriers become apparent as the woman struggles to hear and comprehend the officer's instructions due to ambient noise.
Insurance. Where are we coming from?
Literally, I just told you right over there.
I can't hear you real well out here. I'm sorry.
Sorry, I just told you. I just came from that side of the building. I was coming around to this side without having to pass by the guy who was
Okay.
This initial miscommunication sets a tone of frustration and misunderstanding between the parties involved.
That's my partner.
Why does he look like he's going to break into my truck?
Why does he look? I'm sorry. I couldn't hear you.
He looks like he's going to break into my truck.
No one's gonna break into your truck. What? She says it looks like you're gonna break into her truck.
As the officers proceed to conduct a routine check, including a potential search with a drug-sniffing dog based on their reasonable suspicion, the woman's discomfort and suspicion escalate.
I'm gonna have you step out and I'll explain the written warning to you, okay?
There's no need for me to step out if there's just a written warning.
Yeah, you are gonna step out of the car though.
I'd like to know why. I have a written
So the reason why is I'm stopping you. This is a traffic stop, okay?
Okay, that's not any reason to search my vehicle.
I'm not searching your vehicle. What we're gonna do is called a free air sniff with the dog.
She questions the necessity and legality of the search, expressing her unease and reluctance to comply.
Okay, I'm still gonna explain the paperwork. You can't be in the vehicle while we're conducting the sniff. That's why I'm having you exit the vehicle. I'll explain the documents while the dog goes around and we'll proceed forwards from there.
Her skepticism towards the officer's motives and actions adds fuel to the already tense situation.
I have reasonable suspicion to think that some other criminal activity is happening in my presence.
The turning point occurs when the officers insistently request the woman to step out of her vehicle, which she adamantly refuses.
Okay. I'm going to ask you one more time to step out of the car. We're going to remove you from the car.
This refusal leads to heightened tensions, with the officers attempting to physically remove her from the car.
Yep, you're all set. I'm out of the path. I promise you're not going to hit me with the door.
In her fear and desperation, the woman kicks out at one of the officers, prompting a swift and forceful response.
Stop! What are you doing? What the f are you doing? Get away from me! What are you doing?
Stop!
Get away from me!
We're on behind your back.
What the?
The officers restrain her, using physical force to subdue and eventually arrest her for interference.
Get away from me! What the fuck? What the fuck? I didn't even do anything!
I will cuff. Give me a second.
I was trying to get away from you!
Yeah, that's
You
not
guys are nuts! What the fuck? Just sniff my car and let me go to sleep!
She was charged with assault on a peace officer and interference with official acts.
I kick you the written warning and you're good to go. But it kind of turned into a whole show and fiasco.
Very disrespected.
I feel like I tried everything in my power to be as respectful and cordial and work with you as much as I could.
It's important to note that all individuals involved are considered innocent until proven guilty in a court of law.
The police are sometimes a little bit of an exception to that one.
Different interaction with the police, okay? I don't want to get into a debate about that, but, we're not trying to hurt you. We're not trying to...
know that.
In Ohio, offenses such as assault on a peace officer and interference with official acts are delineated under specific chapters of the Ohio Revised Code, ORC, which outline their definitions and penalties. For assault on a peace officer, this offense falls under Chapter 29, 03, Assault and Related Offenses of the ORC. Depending on the severity, if the assault causes serious physical harm to the officer, it can be charged as a felony offense. Felonious assault carries penalties that may include imprisonment for up to 8 years and fines. For interference with official acts, this offense is typically covered under Chapter 29-21, Offenses Against Justice and Public Administration of the ORC. Interference with official acts can also range in severity, depending on the circumstances. Penalties can include fines and imprisonment with the severity of the penalties often dependent on whether the interference was passive resistance or actively obstructive in nature. All right, fellas, what do you think? Share your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe for more interesting and educational contents in the future. Thanks for your support.